Welcome back, traders. Today we're going to be looking at how to get your day started with Forex trading. Now, if you remember back to the beginning, we said that everything was a 50-50. You had a 50-50 chance of the markets going up or down, or sometimes it just goes sideways before it picks a certain direction. Now, we need things that will work in our favor, and one of those things is to check the news. Now, we briefly had a look at investing.com, but this is a very important site to use as your part of your daily routine in the mornings. So remember, head on over to investing.com, and this is the first thing that we do. We go to economic calendar. Then make sure that you have your time zone set. And then we have a look at what's happening. Now, we don't see any public holidays, so this is a good sign for us. It means that we can be trading today. And then we start looking for the 3 bull events. Now we can see that there are no 3 bull events until 2:30 in the afternoon. So we're going to have pretty clear sailing in the morning. Very often you will find, especially out of the British pound and Eurozone, we'll have a couple 3 bull events. Here we go, we only have a 2 bull out of the Euro. This is Germany, which is the largest economy over there. And then again at 11 o'clock. So we've got a few things to watch out for a little bit, but not too serious. These icons here means that it is a speech. And these can be quite difficult to be trading during because we don't know exactly what the person is going to say. It's not like a set report where we have a forecast or we have an outcome, and we find that the market does go a bit haywire during this time. But this speech is only considered a 2 bull, as well as this one here, so it won't be too bad. We could still trade during these times. If you have a 3 bull event coming out, what you want to do is on a piece of paper, before you even look at your MetaTrader, is write down the currency pair that it's dealing with and then write down the time. So you know every time you look at your little piece of paper next to your trading that you want to watch out during those times. You don't want to place a trade shortly before it, say 15 minutes before it. And if you are in a trade, then that's when you want to manage it. So if the trade is profitable, you'd want to move your stop loss up into a profit zone and even move your take profit further. So that way if the news works for you, then you cash in more profit than you intended. And if it works against you, at least you don't lose money. Then what we do is we load up our MetaTrader. Now I'm starting off blank just so you can see what my usual routine is. And the first thing I do is I start loading up currency pairs. Now I'm going to load up all of these ones across here from the Euro dollar down to the Aussie dollar. And then I'm going to assign my template so everything looks the same. Okay, so these are all the pairs that I'm going to be checking. And now we start putting on the templates. And I'm going to start them all off on the 1 hour. Alright, so now I have 7 different currency pairs open. I've applied my templates, so I'm looking at them on the 1 hour. Now my mission is to help determine a direction that we're going to be trading in. So we're sort of looking at the bigger picture, and this is why we're looking at the 1 hour chart and not the 15 or the 30 minutes. If you find that the 1 hour chart is not clear enough for the direction, you can also have a look at the 4 hour chart. For example, right now, this euro dollar, we had a strong bullish trend and we've been trading it up quite a while, but now it looks like it's starting to reverse. The MA50 has flattened out, and even on the 4 hour chart, we can see that this might be a pretty good turning point, or it may just be a continuation like this. But on the 1 hour, this is flattening out, and if you start feeling like you're not too sure, then rather don't trade this currency until we get more information out of it. So unfortunately this morning I won't be trading the euro dollar. Let's have a look at the US Canadian. See, the US Canadian looks like it's going towards a bearish trend. We do have the MA50 leveling out, But we can see on the 4-hour chart that we have moved from a bullish to a bearish, and the 4 hours picked up a short market here. So I will only be looking for sell positions on the US Canadian. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to a 15-minute chart. And I'm going to put a little arrow in here just to remind me which direction we're hoping to trade in. Oh, I have 2 Canadians. I'll get rid of one. Dollar Swissy. Alright, so this one is quite clearly going short. But you know, the US dollar is being very funny with everything Trump is doing at the moment. So this might be turning. Let's have a look at the 4-hour. Okay, I'm fairly confident we'll stick with short positions on this one today. The dollar yen also looks like a bearish movement. It has the market has come up to meet the MA50, but it is staying below, and the direction of the MA50 is moving down still. Let's confirm on the 4-hour. Yeah, this looks like we could still be trading shorts here. This is still quite a positive. This is still quite a strong short position. So we'll switch back to the MA50. And we'll just drop a down arrow, reminding us we're looking for shorts. Now this pound dollar has been a very strange animal. Candles like this massive one that came out, this is from a news event that came out yesterday morning. These can really throw off your indicators a lot, because it's not the general momentum or movement of the market itself. It's a news event that has really pushed things one way, which means our indicators cannot be trusted that well. Let's stick it on the 4-hour chart. And now you see that these candles aren't so big anymore. This is because the 4-hour chart is taking much bigger movements into account. And even on the 4-hour, we can see that this pair has been moving sideways. It's been ranging quite a lot. The MA50 has flattened out. It looks like we started getting movement here, but this is from those news events that came out. So I don't think I'll be trading the pound dollar. I'll put this one over here on the left. And then we'll keep looking. The Aussie dollar. This one also looks like it's leveling out, but we do have some pretty decent sized movements inside it. You know, runs from here to up there, that's 80 pips. So that's not terrible. Let's double check on the 4-hour chart. Okay, this one is also being quite tricky to read, but it's going to make a great example for me showing you another way to determine direction. I'm going to load up a blank version of the Aussie dollar. And we'll keep it on the 1-hour. What we're going to be doing here, just to see if the market has turned, is we're going to be looking at the most recent highs and lows. Now what makes a high or a low is, the easiest way to start spotting them is that you see the market kind of curves at a point, and we can see that it has changed direction. Now ideally it needs to be a collection of 5 candles, where the middle candle, in the case of a high, the middle candle would stick out higher than the 2 on the left, and those 2 must be higher than the 2 on either side. So this is not a perfect high, because we would ideally like to see this candle sticking up a little bit higher, but we can clearly see that the market has turned around at that position. So I'll mark that down as a high. Then we look for the next high, and it would be over here. See, we have a candle sticking out. Then the ones to either side are lower, and on the left are lower as well. So that we can say is a high. Now we need some lows. We can't use the current one as a low, because we need that collection of 5 candles. So this might become a low, but it's not one yet. This section over here is not a low. This is a continuation of the movement. See, it didn't really change the market direction very much, and we also don't have the collection of 5 candles. This over here looks like it can be a low. Yes, this would be considered a low. We have the candle sticking out, and 2 to either side are higher, and 2 to the left are higher. Another thing to watch out for is that if the high is sharing candles with the low, then one of them is invalid. So if there was one fewer candles here, then it means that the two on the left would cross over with the two on the right of the high, and it would not be valid. So there we have our low. Let's look for another one, and this looks like a low. Okay, so now we have the two most recent lows and the two most recent highs, and we can call these higher lows because we had a low and the next one was higher. We can call these higher highs. We had a high and the next one is higher. If you have higher lows and higher highs, then you are in a bullish trend. If you get a case where you have lower highs, meaning you had a high up here and let's say another one down here, and you had lower lows, then you're in a bearish trend. The only real problem comes in when you have higher highs and lower lows, or lower highs and higher lows. That's when you can't really be trading the market very well. For example, if you had a high, then a lower high, and a low, and a higher low, you would be able to see that the one part is saying the market should be going up, being the lows, and the other is saying the market should be coming down. So we find that we're getting like a squeezing area. Now the market will pick a direction and most likely it'll run off relatively quickly, but it's somewhat unreliable and we don't know which direction yet. So we don't really want to do that. If you find that you have higher highs and lower lows, so higher highs like these two, and then imagine the low was down here, then you could see that the market would be expanding because the bottom is trying to go down and the top is trying to go up, and we can't use that to help determine a direction that we're trading in. So I'm going to say this Aussie dollar, because we have higher lows and higher highs, is bullish. So we've had a look at the news. We've written down what times we need to be careful of. We've gone and we've chosen a direction to be trading these different currency pairs in. And of the 6 pairs that I had loaded up, we have found 4 with a direction and something we can wait for. So that's enough for now. If you find that you go through, say, 6 pairs and you only have 1 that looks good to trade, then go and find some more pairs. Just keep in mind that the more exotic pairs are very expensive to trade, and you might make the decision that today is just simply not worth trading. Keep in mind that a lot of things work against you. So we need as many things to work in our favor as possible to ensure that we are actually hitting profit at the end of every week and certainly at the end of every month.